Hi, my name is David Long, and I am one of the senior consultants and also a certified trainer with Version 2 Consulting. One of the questions that we get very often coming in is about AppleCare training, and whether somebody should or should not be taking that kind of class. So I thought I would create a little video here to describe the differences between the classes, the exams, how to access GSX, and a couple other details along the way. So first off, there are two actual classes that are required for you to ultimately prepare for ACMT training and to become an Apple certified technician. The first one is what we refer to as the OS class, or often called the OS 10 service for technicians. And what that is a 2-day class covering the underlying operating system, basic troubleshooting, as well as basic setup and configuration of OS 10. This class is not for IT professionals. It is a decent introduction to troubleshooting OS 10, but really the goal of the class is for someone who is ultimately going to be an Apple certified Macintosh technician and ultimately pass the exam for the OS part of the certification. If you are a normal IT person, this is not the best class to start with. You should actually be looking towards Support Essentials. The second class involved is Mac Service, or what we often refer to as the ACMT class. And this is the hardware side of the two different classes that you will be taking. This basically goes through troubleshooting of the Macintosh equipment from post to display anomalies, and that is from ultimately the boot chime all the way through problems with the display, logic boards, hard drives, interconnect boards, you name it. We also discuss in detail and in depth ESD safety as well as technician safety, which currently requires students to perform CRT discharge, as well as we go over reference, which includes technician guides and how to troubleshoot OS 10 as well as the hardware, and GSX, including access to GSX, checking in computers, ordering parts, and ultimately performing repairs, the tools you need, and finally the class does end with you performing actual take-apart. And although it's not just replace the hard drive or just replace a Bluetooth card, it actually has you strip computers completely down, put them back together, and then perform diagnostics at the end to confirm that you have performed the take-apart as well as put the computer back together properly. So this is the funner of the two classes, but remember both classes are required for preparation for the two exams. And again, the two exams that are available, one is the Mac Service Certification Exam, some people refer to as 9L0010, and then the OS part, which currently is OS 10 10.8 Mountain Lion Troubleshooting 9L0064. Now, Apple does update these exams on a regular basis, sometimes faster than other times, but the key is that these are the current available exams for you to pass to become ACMT certified. Remember, your certification is for you as an individual, and the certification is not for a company. A company cannot be ACMT certified. The important thing to remember is that when you are taking and passing your exams, you also need to renew those exams on a regular basis. And in fact, there's an annual recertification process that you must go through. The good news is that it is a self-proctored open book exam, and there are two, one for the OS and one for the hardware. You must complete both exams prior to the expiration or the 1-year anniversary of your original certification date. Apple will send you out notifications, usually 90, 60, and 30 days out from your expiration, but if you fail to take the exam within the allotted time, you do need to go back through and study for a closed book exam, just like the first exam that you would take, ultimately what we're discussing now. It would be impossible for anybody to be able to pass the recertification exam without access to GSX. The reason being is the recertification exam is incredibly difficult and does require a lot of time, patience, and looking up a lot of information. As an example, Some questions might be, how many screws are required to take apart a MacBook Air? And it's impossible to know an answer like that without actually looking it up, unless the only computer you've taken apart for 3 years is one MacBook Air. So keep in mind your recertification is done annually, it's self-proctored, it's open book. You do not come to a training center to do, you do on your own, it's all web-based, and the instructions will be emailed to you 90, 60, and 30 days out from your expiration of your original certification. Next is access to GSX, and this is arguably the hardest, but yet most important part for the company that you work for. Access to GSX is only granted to companies. It is not granted to individuals, and there is no exception to that. GSX is where you look up parts, order parts, and ultimately perform repairs. As time is going forward, the only way to perform a repair will be through GSX. Currently, some older model computers can be repaired without access to GSX in the sense that service manuals are downloadable, as well as all the information you need to troubleshoot a problem can be done in an offline state. New computers often can only be troubleshot through an online state, meaning open and access to GSX at that time. Of course, parts can only be ordered through GSX, and there are no third-party options officially for ordering parts for Apple equipment, including Macintosh computers and iOS devices. I know there are arguments to that, but that is the truth. That's the simple truth. There are 3 different programs Apple offers, and if you go to www.apple.com/support/programs, you can see the 3 different types of programs offered. For the most part, anybody who has come this far is probably interested in either a self-servicing account or wants to become an Apple authorized service provider. The simple differences are that an Apple authorized service provider simply allows a tech to repair anybody's device, meaning they can repair or facilitate the repair of any Apple equipment, including and not limited to Macintosh computers, Apple TVs, keyboards, mice, iOS devices, etc. Again, that allows someone to perform the repair of someone else's computer. A self-servicing account is specifically for companies wishing to repair their own devices that are owned by the company. Self-servicing account holders cannot repair someone else's computer, even if that person is an employee of the company. They can only repair officially computers that are owned by the company. And then finally, there's the iOS Direct Service, which helps you facilitate the repair of an iOS device, but the simple requirement is that you must have purchased AppleCare Plus to qualify for iOS Direct Service. No matter what, there is no actual repair performed by a certified technician of any iOS device. iOS devices are always mailed back to Apple for repair. You simply are facilitating that repair process. You cannot order new screens, new logic boards, new cameras, new cases for any iOS device from Apple. They do not allow that. The application side is pretty straightforward. In this example, on the left-hand side, I have clicked on self-servicing account, and I can see that there is an Apply Now button. Keep in mind there are a number of qualifications for applying for any one of the accounts, and you must fit those qualifications in order to be approved. Simple example here is that if you want a self-servicing account, you must own at least 50 Apple computers. Not iOS devices, but 50 Apple computers just to start the qualification process. Keep in mind that your business department and other people who may be financially responsible for the organization must be involved in this application process. Normal end users cannot simply complete the application. It does require information, including bank account information, potential access to Dun & Bradstreet numbers, federal tax IDs, etc. So please don't bother trying to complete your application without access to all the information needed. Once you've applied, it can take weeks, if not months, to actually be approved, and that is just from our experience. It is a process. Some of the benefits, though, of not only being an ACMT certified technician, but also to have access to GSX are quite simply because if you do have a certified tech on site, that technician can perform in-warranty repairs. In-warranty repairs don't have a cost involved to them. If you have a computer that is not booting and it is discovered the computer needs a new logic board, the technician can simply order a logic board, perform the repair, exchange the part, track that repair, and then ultimately not pay anything out of pocket. If you do not have a certified tech on site, there is no way to perform in-warranty repairs. Legally and officially, there's no way to perform out-of-warranty repairs either because you don't have a technician to be able to perform said repairs. For you to be able to check in equipment, you need to have a on-site or someone who can perform those repairs. So by having a self-servicing account, the advantages here are to replace damaged components at a much more affordable price than taking it down to an Apple store or taking it to your local repair shop. You're going to be paying not only a lower cost, basically cost for a part, but you'll also have a technician that can perform that repair and often can do it at a more affordable price. Additionally, by having a self-servicing account, you can perform in-warranty repairs and not pay for parts, which is a great thing. So if you are trying to, or you already own a self-servicing account and you do not have an on-site technician, you cannot perform in-warranty repairs. And obviously it's a quicker turnaround by having a ACMT on site as well as self-servicing account. You don't have to go down to your Apple store or have a local shop to perform the repairs. For those interested in an Apple authorized service provider account, the advantage again is that you can perform the repair for other people. Anyone can bring a computer or device to you and you can perform that repair. You also get reimbursed for in-warranty repair, which is not common or normal for self-servicing accounts, but you must have a certified tech on site to perform these repairs. Keep in mind that for several years now, Apple has had a moratorium on applications for AASPs. That is that if you are not currently an AASP and you wish to become one, you probably won't be able to at this time unless you have some sort of special connection within Apple. Unfortunately, Version 2 Consulting cannot in any way help you with your application process or give you advice on how to become an AASP, because that is something you do between yourself and Apple. So in review, it's pretty straightforward. There are 2 exams, 1 certification. You must pass both exams to become certified, and you must renew that every year. Only companies and not individuals can apply for access to GSX. And becoming ACMT is really not for individual consultants or IT professionals who work for organizations that are not actually going to get access to GSX. So no consultant really can get access to GSX, and companies that don't already have GSX access who wish to perform repairs for other people currently cannot apply for an AASP account. Should you have any questions, please feel free to visit our website or send us an email at info@v.2.com. Thanks again.